So, for our first review of the day, it is going to be for the film Kung Fu Panda 3. We
Mm,
reviewed the last Kung Fu Pandas 2 and 1. I'd seen 1 before, but never saw 2 before. So I said, well,
mm,
hey, since saw 2, can't just finish, can't just go off like that, just reviewing 2 and not seeing the third one before the fourth one comes out. So I was like, hey, let's watch the third one and give that a review. Here, finish it out. Kung Fu Panda 3 here. We have the story a little bit more of Poe give his backstory. We're finally introduced to his father, who we saw teased at the end of the second one, who is here voiced by Bryan Cranston,
mm.
who's Lee in this. And there's a whole civilization of pandas, a whole village of pandas there that escaped the genocide that Gary Oldman's character wanted to commit against them. So that they have their little vision. He ends up kind of meeting with Poe and taking him to that village. And again, it's kind of getting to know more about him, about his
Mm.
backstory, and him reconnecting with his people. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I got all of you look like me. You know what I mean? You're me. You know what I mean? Fatter. You're me as a woman. Hey, you're me. They wanted to say something else, but you can't really say that anymore.
Nope.
And he said it was just me with the hat. So you kind of have that there. The big villain of this, as they do with all these kind of Kung Fu Panda movies, a new main
Mhm.
antagonist, something for Poe to kind of go up against, is a villain named Kai, who's voiced by J.K. Simmons in this.
Yes.
And as always, what you do with these Kung Fu Panda movies with villains, you learn about their backstory as well, like how they kind of became a villain. And a lot with
Mm,
Kai, you see him trapped in the spirit world.
mm.
And he's trapped in the spirit world with the Master Oogway there,
Yeah.
who was the turtle that you saw in the first movie, who kind of like Luke Skywalker, or no, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, just kind of faded
Yeah.
away there and kind of went into his own the martial arts spirit world now he's in. And you see that during this time who's been there for hundreds of years, that Kai has collected all the souls of the people there. And
Mm,
very, very, very cool, by the way. I think Kai might be my favorite villain so far in the Kung Fu
mm.
Panda movies. What's your opinion of Kai?
I really like Kai, especially on this rewatch. Like I'd only seen Kung Fu Panda 3 once, like in around the same time like that it probably came out, so I didn't really remember it. It wasn't my favorite. But no, I fucking love Kai in this. J.K. Simmons is always a great voice actor whenever he pops up in things. Um, and yeah, like you said, him collecting like the souls of like all the kung fu masters is such a cool thing, and like how he uses them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And good action sequence here between the two of them.
Mhm.
And he has his own, like, if people play God of War, like his own blades of chaos, which I think
Yeah, pretty
was
much.
which I think was a really cool weapon there for this character to use.
Mhm.
So that was kind of really good. And you say like he uses the souls pretty in a really good way, because
Mm,
what he does when he collects the souls of all the kung fu masters, he basically makes them these zombie kind of like creatures that he can control with his whim. He basically order them around.
mm,
Which I thought that was really good and really kind of interesting too. What they did with that ability and that power, it made him super threatening. I thought.
mhm.
Yeah, would you say he's the best one out of the series?
Um, I don't know. I really like the first 2, especially Tai Long. But I don't know, Shin in the second one might be my favorite just because of his connection to Poe.
Mm,
Um, and just how Gary Oldman is just going so ham in that voice role. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like Kung Fu Panda always has, like you said, great villains. Like in each of them, I think.
yeah. And even this villain has a connection because obviously he knew Master Oogway in the past. They used to be
Hmm.
friends, comrades, fought in battle together. And
Mm.
then there was a turn there. Great Work said, you can see Tai Lung and Kai's belt of the masters he collected. Oh, very good. That's very
Ooh, okay,
Ah,
nice.
nice. That's a very good
Did
tidbit
not know
there.
that.
Easter egg. So
Mhm,
yeah, so I like that. So each villain had kind of somewhat of a connection to the history of the team there. Um,
mhm.
I know going into this, you guys told me about this movie and not much of the Furious Five that you're kind of going to
Yeah.
see in this. And did you have to rewatch the movie, or just kind of going mainly off of memory of your last time you've seen the film? film?
No, I had to rewatch for sure because out of the Kung Fu Pandas, this is the one I've seen the least. Like I watched this once maybe, and I thought it was okay. Like when I first watched it, I really loved the first two, especially the second one. So I was like, but yeah, no, I definitely had to rewatch this because I didn't remember a lot of what happened.
Mm. Yeah. So you kind of see here that in this one more of a connection to the past there with
Mhm,
this character as they've done before. And I think that's always really good to, that they kind of add that in because it gives a more personal kind of connection there, with the villains. And with the Furious Five, so with this one, I will say you do see them lesser than you probably have
mhm.
seen in the second or first one. And I do like them. I do like the team there when they kind of, fight together. Angela Jolie, I think the one as Tigress probably gets the most out of the Furious Five,
Oh,
out of
yeah.
all of them. Because she's probably the bigger name actor there, so she gets kind of the most time. But really, it is kind of mainly focused on Poe and him going back to his home there and like seeing him with his people and the
Mhm.
kind of panda kingdom or village that you have here. And that's a cute moment. I think that's really kind of a lot of cute
Yeah.
stuff and fun stuff. The humor in this movie too I like better than in the first 2 movies because I think the humor
Mhm.
here isn't just most of I think the humor in the first one and the second one is kinda a lot of, like, Poe's fat, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's just fat,
yeah.
Here, I don't really think that is they don't rely on that as much as they do in the other ones. What do you think about the humor in
Mhm.
this
Oh, no, no, I agree, I think the second one lessened the humor, so, like, when we did get jokes, it was like you said, like, Pull Fat or, like, very small, like, that second one is dark, we're dealing with panda genocide and such. Um, but this third one, yeah, I really enjoyed the humor, especially with all the different pandas. Even Kai, like, he's pretty, like, funny at times, like, and stuff, especially his final confrontation with Poe. Um, but yeah, no, the humor here is great, the panda people are great. Um, Jack Black as always, it's fun.
Yeah, you see a little bit of the confrontation here in the
Justice! Prepare for
trailer here.
war! Are you
Mhm,
kidding me?
You must be the Dragon Warrior.
How about you spare me the chit chat?
I'm going to take your
Chit chat.
in this
Chitty chitty chat chat
In-
chat chat chat.
in this.
Chit chat.
mhm,
So yeah, I do think the humor here is a little bit better than it was there. And so
mhm,
yeah, it kind of doesn't just rely on just the fat jokes as they did there. And also like a little bit more of the expanding the mythology of the martial arts. You learn about more martial arts legends there in
mhm,
this kind of different one. Again, all these different various animals that you have there. Um so I kinda like that, yeah, quite a bit. Some
mhm,
new additions that you have besides J.K. Simmons, you do also have Kate Hudson there who plays Mimi, as well, who's one of kind of the newer additions in this. You have also Bryan Cranston. We saw it did a little bit in the second one, but here we have him as more of a full-fledged character in this one,
mhm.
as well as Poe's father. What did you think about the addition of, Bryan Cranston in this as, his father?
I mean, I like Bryan Cranston. I thought it was interesting, bringing him in that tease at the end of part two. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed him here. His relationship with Poe, is very fun at first, like you see in that trailer, like them like bumping guts, and like not really recognizing each other at first, or like they're a little slow to be like, oh wait, you're my dad, you're my son. Um, but yeah, it was kind of cool to see Cranston flex his comedy chops and his voice acting chops, especially with Jack Black. So I think they have like a very fun chemistry together and like dealing with finding out your dad or hanging out with your dad for like the first time.
Mm, yeah, and that was a sweet moment. I think when you see
Mhm,
them kinda, you know what I mean, get together and, like I said, bump guts and things like that, hug each
mhm.
other, and then with that, you also see some jealousy from James Hong's character there,
Yes.
Mr. Ping, who, is his Poe's adoptive father,
Mhm.
but, I think that's leads to, like, a really sweet moment, between the 2 of them, between both fathers when they kinda connect
Yeah.
with him coming out and kind of admitting, like, "Yeah, I was a little jealous that you're gonna take, kinda Poe away," like, he goes with Poe to this panda kind of village there. And
Mhm.
it leads up to them making a good duo there, the double dad defense, which was really cute,
Exactly, yeah.
so now he's got 2 dads, you know what I mean? So that's
Mhm.
pretty nice. Very progressive, you know what I mean? But this
Right, exactly.
before its kind of time here. Yeah, I mean, what do you think more works about this movie than in the other 2, you think?
I think, just, like, the spiritual stuff, like, I remember we talking about it, like, during part 2 that, like, this one is a lot more, um, kinda like Kung Fu spiritual, Kung Fu fantasy, like, with all the spirit world and of course, the fight at the end and the jade, zombies, the zombies, they call them. Um, but yeah, I think it works here. I think it's kind of a nice evolution, especially after the second one when he learns, like, inner peace. Um, but yeah, I really enjoy, like, the action here again. Like, I think they do really good action with these animated movies. Um, and so I think that really works here. I think all the panda stuff works. Um, Poe being like the fish out of water and like learning how to be a panda was fun.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, all that stuff I think just is really good and works just with Poe's continuing growth.
mm, yeah. Yeah, that you mentioned like he's kind of the fish out of water here again in this situation, much how it was like he was in the first movie there of trying to,
Mhm,
you know, learn to like what it does it mean to be a panda? Like
mhm,
what does that kind of mean there? And also in a new position, like you said, of kind of taking a more of a role there of kind of maybe the leader of the few as far as the new, kind of master there as you see.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and you see that where it kinda leads here, where he's trying to lead a training session, and how
Mhm.
kinda horribly wrong that kinda goes there. I mean, you just see this.
Buster! Tigress! Tornado backflip!
Yes, master.
Whoa! Fire! Fire! Stop! Sorry, my fault. Crane, go high. I mean, look! Oh!
Oh, my claw thingy!
Viper and Tigress, like a totem pole. Poison.
I mean, he just doesn't know
Yeah.
what the hell I mean, you know what I mean? He's trying to find that, like I said, the kind of it's a new journey for Poe there of learning what it
Mhm,
means. And then at the end, it turns out that, he kind of becomes the new Master Oogway in a sense of someone like Master Oogway is looking for someone to pass it on to.
mhm,
And he kind of, he gets a new power up pretty much every movie there of learning a different skill there.
mhm,
And this one by far is my favorite there of him kind of doing that, of him making this. It's beautiful animation too, really beautifully
mm,
well done of this dragon type creature there becoming in essence, really truly the dragon warrior there.
mhm.
I thought it was really cool and really nice. How'd you think about
Yeah.
the climax here?
Oh no, I love it. Just wanna I mean, always have great climaxes, final fights. But this one goes like full, just like taking advantage of the animation. And like you said, the dragon looks so cool, and the fight in the spirit world, and just everything. Like Kai's like God of War blades are so cool. And I like how Poe uses them against him, like here as you're seeing. But yeah, such a fun fight, such a cool fight. Like I feel like the second one is, like, taken a little bit more seriously, his fight against Shin. Um, but this one, I think, kinda channels, like, that same energy of the first when he's fighting Tai Lung and he's, like, having fun with him, like, he's, like, bouncing around and stuff. Um, and, like, it's the whole thing that he was into from the beginning, like, he loves kung fu, he thinks it's such a fun thing. Um, and it's just been continuously fun to see a nerd like Poe become, like, the best at this stuff.
Mm. He's able to kind of find that, within him, and that's what kind of
Mhm.
makes him unique and kind of makes him different from, what I mean, the rest of kind of the Furious
Yeah.
5 of, him having that own kind of ability there, which I think is great to see that he has his own unique skill set there that makes him, yeah, unique
Mhm.
above there. And you even see it with, Tigress, she comes from being defeated when Kai comes there, destroys the palace, beats the Furious
Mhm.
5 and Master Shifu, makes them into zombies there,
Mhm.
and she's the only one that makes it out, and she comes there to warn him about Kai coming to, do the same thing to him, kill the dragon warrior there.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then which is, I mean, again, you got to go with it because it's a movie. He has to train this whole village, what I
Yeah,
mean, kind
yeah.
of teach him all these different, which is probably he does that in what, like probably some hours or something like that, a couple
Yeah,
days or something.
a couple
So
hours.
he's this village is all ready to fight this guy, and they already ready to set up, and they got the booby traps already in like a maybe
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hours or so. So that you just got, I guess, you just got to go with it. But
Mhm.
that was kind of cool to see. You know what I mean? Like the village kind of come together and then fight with him, and him lead the village, so he learns to become a leader. And that
Yeah.
any kind of weak points for you with Kung Fu Panda 3?
Um, well, I was gonna add on to what you just said, like, him, like, learning to teach. Um, it goes, like, right back to, like, the first one, like, he's trying to teach them kung fu, but then he, like, makes them take advantage of their pandaness and, like, they're doing kung fu in their own way, like, he does kung fu in his own way. Um, so I thought that was just a good old wraparound. But, yeah, as for weak points, the only, like, real weak point is, like, the cliche thing, like, his dad is lying to him, he doesn't know how to do the special, like, healing panda thing, he just wanted to bring him there to keep him safe, like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's always tried and true, and, like, especially in animated movies, like, right before the 3rd act, "You lied to me? Oh, no, our relationship is a little fractured now, but we'll fix it after it all."
Yeah, I mean, which doesn't last too long. I mean, he's not really
No.
mad at you know what I mean? Which I'm good that they got past that, pretty quickly there,
Mhm.
which was very, very sweet that they did this. And this is when, the whole kind of village kind of all comes together. You got all these pandas. Very much also kind of mirrors what happened in the first movie of him, Master Shifu teaching him how to, work with, Poe and like what works for him,
Yeah.
as well. So I thought that was kind of really good callback to something like that. Um,
Mhm.
and this is kind of fun. You have, this is the Kate Hudson character, Mimi there. I guess sexy panda, I guess you would say. I don't know. The artist dancing panda, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh, yeah, which was really good stuff there, which was really nice. And you can see him kind of the Kai character because he can control all these things, him kind of getting overwhelmed with all of the kind of,
Mhm.
zombies at once there, which was very good. Yeah, I mean, I like this quite a bit. I really strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta apologize to Kung Fu Panda. I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm sorry. This was really good. It's a really good series of movies here. I had a lot of fun with them. I think for me personally, I think 3 would be maybe my favorite there. I do,
Okay.
one of my issues would be a couple of my issues would be not enough of the Furious 5, who I do like to see quite
Yeah.
a bit. Um, you do have the, cliche thing of like the father lion, and then he's like, "Oh, you lied to me." You do have that in there.
Mhm.
Trailing the village section is fun, but it is kind of like, okay, it was like it happened like in a few hours that he was
Yeah,
able to
right.
do all this. But I would still think, yeah, I mean, this movie, I had a lot of good time with it, and I enjoyed it, and
Mhm.
I think the animation here is still good. The fight sequences are still really fun to watch. It does have a good appreciation for martial arts, and you know what I
Mhm.
mean, the genre there of kung fu films. So for me, I would give it a peak there. For
Mhm.
me. What about you?
Okay,
Final
okay.
thoughts?
Yeah, no, final thoughts, like, I I'm kinda in the same boat as you, like, I had not really liked it, or I thought I didn't like it, like, after seeing it once, like, I was like, "Okay, maybe Kung Fu Panda 3 isn't good." But then, like, upon rewatching it, I was like, "No, the hell was I thinking? This is great." Like you said, the animation is great, I think, like, they get better, like, with each movie, and the comedy's on point, Jack Black is hilarious, like, you can't help but root for Poe, but yeah, like I said, weak points are the lying and the No Fears 5, but, like, strong points is, like, J.K. Simmons as a villain, he's fucking chewing it up. Um, we get more Oogway backstory, which is, like, that's very cool flashback we have with them. Um, but otherwise, yeah, a super strong trilogy, I think, great 3rd movie, great twist and just growth for Poe. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it a strong tune in.
Strong tune in. Okay.
Strong tune in, yeah.
And this one in the box office, so this movie came out in 2016.
Okay.
So in the box office, it made the least amount out of all 3 of the movies. It
Mm,
made 521.2 million. So I wonder what its competition was because this came out early in the year. It came out in January, so the beginning of the year. So
2016 too.
yeah, let me see, what animated film, came out in
Mhm.
2016 there. So yeah, I'm surprised it made the least amount there.
Right? Yeah.
Let's see. Um Hmm. So let's see. So I've seen 2016. So I had Kubo and the Two Strings, which I love. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Hell yeah, I love Kubo too.
That was yeah, I love that movie a lot. But that one I think didn't do well in the box office.
Mm.
You had Secret Life of Pets, which I think that did very well at the box office.
Yeah, that's one that like
Yeah.
gave Illumination a lot of money.
But let me look up specifically here movies in January 2016 here.
Mm,
Because usually it's a crap month, usually of movies there
right.
that kind of come out there. Um, hmm. So you had Norm of the North, which came out there. You had Ride Along 2.
Okay.
You had The Fifth Wave. You had
Yeah, you're
Dirty
right.
Grandpa,
You're saying all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is where they dump dump movies in January.
50 Shades of Black.
Mm.
I don't know. I can't see any of these movies. I guess it was maybe Ride Along 2 that kind of just sucked that up, the money for January, maybe.
Oh wait,
Um,
you said 2016, right?
yeah.
It might have been. I know it's like the next month because it was February. It might have been Deadpool that sucked up all the
Oh,
money.
maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Deadpool there. Maybe that did suck up the money. Yeah. Because that came out. But yeah. I was kind of surprised that this made the least that amount of
Mm.
all these movies. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend people checking this out, especially before the
Mhm.
fourth one. You said you're kind of cautiously optimistic about the fourth one, but
Yeah, yeah, I very much so. I mean, you mentioned the double data defense, and I think like they're both going to be prominent in the fourth one. At least like you see them in the trailer a bit. So at least they're back. Like if we're not getting more Furious 5.
yeah, which yeah, like I said, very cool moment
Double
there.
dad defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cute. That was a cute moment there.
Mm,
So yeah, maybe you see more of them, him and his two dads there.
yeah.
A lot more
Oh my
kids can relate to
god.
that nowadays. So yeah, so you gave it a tune in, I gave it a peek
Mm,
for Kung Fu Panda 3.
mm.